Money in the Bank was this afternoon, live from the O2 Arena in London, England. And I've got to say, I might be in the minority of Americans. I'm kind of glad we got a non-American pay-per-view because it meant that it's 7 o'clock right now and the show's already over. So I can kind of enjoy the rest of my evening while staying up till freaking 11:30. I know, of course, Americans that do have jobs and have to work normal time jobs missed a lot of the show, which does suck. But you know what? Every other country has to deal with that crap for all the other pay-per-views. So it's fair that they, of course, get them. Wrestling is popular in other parts of the world. So yeah, the crowd were very hot. I'll touch on them again in just a little bit. The crowd was very, very excited. They were one of the best parts of the show. The show started with the men's Money in the Bank match. I'm very happy that it went on first. I think that was really good placement because it teased a cash in for the entire show. Like you had the rest of the show to go, oh, will he cash in? And it was Damian Priest, who I predicted. My prediction started off 1-for-1. My potential Judgment Day sweep got started off strong. It did not stay that way. Spoilers. Very good match. Not as many insane, stupid spots as there could have been, or you may want for a Money in the Bank match, but it was good. It was a good way to start the crowd. The crowd were already hot. This just kind of helped build it to start. Very good showing from everyone here. I know people wanted LA Knight to win. He may have even been the right choice, but I am glad Damian Priest won it. I do think he deserves it. So yeah, Priest is your Mr. Money in the Bank. We'll see what he does with that. Will he cash in tonight? Let's find out. Next up was a women's tag team title match. And if you thought I was happy that Damian Priest won the men's Money in the Bank match, you have no idea how freaking excited I was when Liv Morgan pinned Ronda Rousey on pay-per-view. I hate Ronda. Y'all know that. Everyone who knows me knows that. They didn't do the turn exactly how I thought they would or how I wanted to. I would have rather had Ronda be the heel going forward. And she might. I don't know. But it looks like Shayna has turned heel. More heel? They're already heels. But has turned on Ronda Rousey, costing them the titles. And my girl Liv Morgan got a pay-per-view pinfall over Ronda. Love to see it. My predictions are 2 for 2 so far. Moving on to the Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Matt Riddle. This was exactly what you expected it to be. It didn't last very long. I think it went maybe 6-7 minutes. And it was good. Gunther dominated pretty much throughout. Solid showing. Picked up the win. Historic reign continues. And who's that? Oh, it's just big, sexy Drew McIntyre making his return and beating the piss out of Gunther. So it looks like the SummerSlam feud for Gunther is going to be Drew McIntyre. And I'm kind of torn here. Because while I wouldn't be upset if Gunther continued that historic title reign, I love Drew McIntyre. And I wouldn't be upset at him taking it and ending that reign either. Great spot. The crowd lost their minds for Drew. Loved it. Very good moment to end a pretty good match. Next up was Cody versus Dominic. And this is where my hot streak for predictions ended. Which really is unfortunate because I recorded my predictions twice. The first go around, I picked Cody to win. I did. But I wound up not liking something about the way I had done them and went back and re-recorded them. And in the process of recording them, I changed my mind and picked Dominic, pitching the whole Judgment Day sweeping Money in the Bank thing. It didn't happen. It was still a good match. The crowd absolutely hated Dominic Mysterio. Chanting, I believe, Dom is a wanker at some point. It was really, really good. Dominic is the best heel in the company right now. I truly believe that he can make everyone hate him. Good match, not the ending I personally wanted, but I'm not too annoyed that Cody Rhodes won. Next up was, in my opinion, the dark spot of the show, of what was an otherwise good show. As John Cena's music hits, and he comes out, the crowd come unglued because, they love John Cena. I want Cena to go away. Like, the promo was fine. I personally don't think Cena's that good on the mic. This promo was inoffensive. Like, it wasn't that bad. He pitched something odd, though. He pitched a WrestleMania in London. Crowd, of course, blew the damn roof off the O2. Does the O2 have a roof? I think it does. They'd have to. You can't have a big arena in the UK without a roof because it rains all the time. But yeah, if there was a roof, which I'm pretty sure there is, they blew it off. They got so freaking loud at Cena suggesting a WrestleMania in London. And for me, this just feels cruel. Yeah, they can do some of these other shows, maybe even a SummerSlam overseas. I don't see a world, especially a world in which Vince McMahon is still alive, in which WrestleMania is going to be somewhere other than America. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see it happening ever, especially not while Vince is alive. So yeah, it feels kind of cruel to tease it. I did see some speculation on Twitter saying they were only doing that because of AEW running a big show in London coming up. So like that might not be too far out of the imagination. Like, oh, AEW doing something? We're gonna tease a WrestleMania in London. We'll show them. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. If you live in England, I am sorry, you guys aren't getting a Mania. It sucks, but it's just kind of how it is. Grayson Waller also came out. I fully admit I don't watch NXT, so I don't know him. However, he did improve the segment. As I've said, I don't think Cena's good on the mic. He was just kind of doing his typical corny bullcrap. Waller came out and said, why on earth would they have it here? This place sucks. They should have it in Australia, my hometown. You should come fight me there at Australian Mania. Yeah, Waller, you were the better part of the segment, but they're not going to do it there either. Yeah, I mean, the segment was whatever. I thought it was easily the worst part of the show. Go away, Cena. I don't want to see you have one more match. I don't want to see you teasing bullshit that's not going to happen in London. Go away. Do your crappy movies. Next up was the Women's Money in the Bank match. This was a good one. Spot-wise, I think it was probably better than the men's. I did want Bayley to win. Bayley's one of my favorite on the roster. It didn't happen. Zelina Vega. I did not have this on my Money in the Bank bingo card. Zelina Vega with the spot of the night in the Women's Money in the Bank match doing... I forgot the name of it. It was the Red something. It was a callback to her cousin, whose name escapes me. But it was basically like a sunset flip slam to, I believe, Zoe Starks onto a ladder that was propped up on another ladder. It was brutal. My favorite spot of the night by far. Another really good spot in the match. At one point, while Zoe Stark was battling with Becky Lynch, along with Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark pulled out some handcuffs. Got one of them on Becky Lynch's wrist. Went to go handcuff her to the ring so she can't get involved. That's really good. Of course, Becky fought away. Didn't happen. However, she still had the one kind of there. Toward the end of the match, you have Becky Lynch and Bayley up at the top of the ladder, fighting, brawling, trying to win Money in the Bank. I'm shouting, let's go, Bayley. I don't think anybody else was. They wanted Becky. And then Becky Lynch takes the handcuff that's not on her in a hook into Bayley's mouth. It was a very good spot. Wrenched her down from that. And eventually, in a moment that made the crowd very happy, because Io Sky's over as hell, Io Sky wins the Women's Money in the Bank match. She used those handcuffs to handcuff Bayley and Becky together. Arms through the ladder so they couldn't climb anymore. She then climbed right over Bayley, took the briefcase. Great finish to a pretty good ladder match. Io definitely deserves it. I think this will absolutely cause some dissension between her and Bayley, especially since Bayley turned on her and cost her winning the match earlier. So yeah, good booking of a damage control implosion. Like to see that. Good for Io. She absolutely deserves it. Moving on was Seth versus Finn for the World Heavyweight Championship. And my loss streak continues. As Finn Balor does not win. My Judgment Day sweep did not happen. Seth won. Good match. I think it should have probably gone on longer, even though the show ran 40 minutes over what it was supposed to. It was solid. It didn't feel like it really hit that third gear for me, personally, and I think Finn deserves better. There was a teased cash-in. Part of the way through the match, Damian comes down with his briefcase, thinking maybe Heist of the Century 2.0. Seth looked terrified. It doesn't happen. Seth stomps Finn, picks up the 1-2-3. Finn and Damian are seen arguing ringside a bit. This is going to cause some fun stuff between the Judgment Day. Obviously, the Judgment Day are going to break up. I just hoped it would be breaking up for a feud between Finn and Damian for the title. And it still might, because Damian does have that briefcase. Next up, we have the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. This was my match of the night. Easily, it was a very good match. Roman, even though the story is dragged on a bit, the story is still good. The Usos are the best tag team in the WWE. And yeah, I'm going to talk a bit about the crowd here. They have been great the entire show, but some of their chants, man. My favorite was Tribal Wanker, chanted at Roman Reigns 4 or 5 times throughout the match. It was really good. There was another really good spot. I think it was Jay hit the ropes running at Solo, went to go to a crossbody, and Solo just caught him with a forearm right to the face. Turned him completely like 180, not 180, just turned him like that. Just dropped him. It was great. Very good spot. There was a ref bump, which of course means tomfoolery happens. It was a good ref bump. Not all ref bumps are good. Some of them suck. I'm not sure who the ref was. He sold it really well. Looked like he like sold getting his arm caught. Let out a really good like scream of pain. It was pretty good. And that led, of course, to the closing. Roman got pinned for the first time since, I'm pretty sure it's 2019. Roman Reigns eats a pinfall. Now, of course, unfortunately, it wasn't super clean. He did get a low blow. The big dog has been neutered. He was pinning Jay. I think actually it may have been Jimmy. He was pinning one of the Usos. 1, 2, kicks out, but the arm is in between his legs. Boom! Right in the buttocks. He's, of course, stunned. Whole bunch of super kicks. Uso splash. Really good way to end the match. It still keeps Roman Reigns looking strong as hell, obviously, but it also gives Jey Uso a pinfall over Roman Reigns, probably setting up for Jey Uso versus Roman at SummerSlam for the undisputed title. Unfortunately, I do think this is probably going to be Jay's big moment. I don't think he's going to win that match or that feud. It is sadly looking like he's probably going to hold that title till Mania 40. But yeah, those were my thoughts on Money in the Bank 2023. Very good show. Very good crowd. Go away, John Cena. Please. Let me know what you thought down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Captain.